Welcome back. Welcome. I'm Mr. Bitcoin Maxi. We're all Bitcoin Maxis. So I was in the gym and I had this video idea. If you're struggling right now, you're exactly who Bitcoin was built for. So in this video, I did some research. So I'm going to break it down into 10 parts. And then in those parts, there's going to be data and then points within those sections that I'm trying to convey in each part. Now, shout out to everybody that hits the gym. And if you haven't hit the gym, I really recommend it because it goes a lot into making better financial decisions than you even realize. When you have a lot of brain fog and you're not eating really healthy, trust and believe that affects your thoughts, it affects your feelings. And the way I always see it and tell people is just try it. Just get in the gym. Anyways, let's get into it. Now, the first one I have on my list that I want to talk about is Bitcoin was built for people living paycheck to paycheck because they're the ones hurt most by fiat inflation. Now, the data says the bottom 50% of Americans lost over 32% of their purchasing power in the last 20 years due to monetary expansion, and that's according to Fed data. Now, meanwhile, the top 1% gained real wealth from asset inflation. Excuse me. Now, the point is Bitcoin was engineered to fix exactly this imbalance. Inflation pushes the struggling. Bitcoin mathematically shields them. Struggling isn't a disadvantage. It's proof you're the target user. All right. Now, number 2 on my notes. People with less money historically adopt disruptive technology first. Now, the data says early internet adoption in the 1990s was fastest among low-income households because it was their escape from limited opportunity. And look at how fast the internet grew. It grew very, very fast. And of course, that's exactly what's happening with Bitcoin. And a lot of people don't even really recognize it. All right. Now, mobile banking adoption surged in Africa among people with no bank accounts, not the wealthy. Now, the point of this is people struggling embrace tools that give them power. Now, Bitcoin follows the same adoption curve. If you're struggling, you are early. And so even people right now, I see a lot of people online, a lot of talk that says, I'm out of Bitcoin. I've been in Bitcoin since its early days. And I'm out ever since it hit 100K. I'm done. I'm out. I've been a long-term holder. And other people will say, Bitcoin's done. Bitcoin hit its peak. And so it's important to recognize that we are still so early. All right. So when you see things like that, don't let it affect your dollar cost averaging strategy. Now, number 3, the struggling class has the highest pain tolerance, a required trait for Bitcoin millionaires. Now, the data shows behavioral economists show that people who grew up financially unstable have higher volatility tolerance and stick to long-term assets longer. Wealthy investors sell faster because they fear losing lifestyle, not wealth. Now, the point of this part is your life experiences literally condition you to survive Bitcoin's volatility. That's not weakness, that's advantage. Because a lot of people are going to burn themselves out, right? And so while they burn themselves out, while they're selling, we're going to go and keep stacking more and more. Now, number 4, Bitcoin removes the one system struggling class can't beat: gatekeepers. Now, the data shows 70% of Americans under 40 have been denied credit or charged predatory interest rates. So for all my people out there that might have somewhat bad credit and they don't understand why their interest rates are higher, it's because you have bad credit. Those are predatory interest. And so when banks, a lot of people don't understand that when banks, right, they'll give you, sometimes they won't deny you credit, but if depending on how bad your credit is, they'll say, okay, we'll give you this higher interest rate, a really high interest rate, but it's because they want you to default. Now, 1 in 4 low-income workers cannot access safe financial products. Now, the point of this is Bitcoin requires no approval, no credit check, no signature, no bank. The people locked out of the system gain the most from an open one. Bitcoin is for the rejected. All right. Now, number 5 on my notes we have here is the working class has the most time exposure. The secret to outsized Bitcoin gains. Now, the data says median net worth grows slowly for the poor, but their long-term investing horizons multiply with compounding effects, all right? Wealthy individuals trade in and out and lose compounding effects. So that's why a lot of the time you see these whales, right? Going in there, buying Bitcoin and then selling it. And so a lot of times those whales have money to sit there and do that and leverage Bitcoin, short it, long it. And so the average person that's just the working class, they don't want to be doing that, and they shouldn't be doing that. All right? So the point is people who struggle can't afford to day trade, which is exactly why they outperform. Time in the market is better. Now, low stackers win through patience, not capital. And what's the word that I always stress to you all in almost every video of all the research that I'm doing to you all in different videos is patience, all right? Number 6, the struggling class spends a larger percent of income on essentials, meaning they benefit most when Bitcoin becomes global money. Now, people will look back on this video in many, many years and be like, dang, this guy was right. Bitcoin is global money. A lot of people think that gold, silver is going to be the money. No, it's not, because we live in a technology era. There's so much technology now with AI coming. If wherever you are in the world watching this, all right, it'll be easier for me to send you Satoshis, right? Wherever you are in the world, you're here, you're in Germany, you're in South America, you're in Africa, you're in Canada, right? I could send you Satoshis really fast, as opposed to me sitting here trying to send you gold. Like, that's the old way. And a lot of people don't really understand that, all right? Now, the data shows low-income households spend 85% of income on necessities. Inflation hits these categories the hardest, such as food, gas, and housing. And I'm sure you all are feeling it more and more, but trust and believe, the Fed cut rates again, we are going to feel it even more. And so a lot of people also thought that after the Fed cut rates, we were going to just skyrocket. Bitcoin was going to go up. But what did I tell you all last time was going to happen? The last time the Fed cut rates, I told you all we were going to go down and we were going to go up. That's exactly what happened. Now, the point, when Bitcoin stabilizes purchasing power long-term, the people who live on essentials get the most relief. Bitcoin fixes this exact category that is hurting your wallet. Now, number 7, historically, every monetary revolution led with people who were suffering. Now, the data shows gold adoption in 1800s were mostly farmers and workers. Fiat rejection in early 1900s. Low-income savers first. Mobile money in Africa, the unbanked, drove adoption, all right? Now, the point of this part is financial revolutions never start with the wealthy. They start with people getting crushed. Your struggle is literally the signal you're in the right place. All right. Now, number 8, struggling people have one rare advantage. They feel the system's failure before everyone else does. And I actually, doing my research, I thought this was actually very interesting that low income, middle income feel the effects faster than wealthy people. So, according to data, a 2023 PEW or Pew or whatever I found, whatever it was called that when I was doing my research study, found low-income households report inflation awareness 18 months earlier than high-income households. Now, poor families are leading indicators of monetary collapse, all right? Now, the point of this part is you see problems first, you feel pain first. You seek solutions first. Now, Bitcoin rewards early adopters, not late adopters. Your struggle puts you ahead of the wealthy, not behind them. Now, number 9, the wealthy are too comfortable to change. The struggling are hungry enough to transform because they want a way out. They want a way out, and they're tired of getting poor. They're tired of trying to save money, and every time they're trying to save, something comes up and it's expensive. Like maybe something happens with the car, you got to fix it. Maybe something happens with something in the house, you got to fix it, right? And so people are just looking for an escape. Of course, a legal one. that is. Now, the data shows 72% of wealthy investors say Bitcoin is too new or too risky, but low to middle income class buyers make up the fastest Bitcoin demographic globally. Now, the point of this is comfort slows adoption, pain accelerates it, struggle makes you motivated, motivation makes you consistent, and consistency makes you wealthy in Bitcoin. And so for my final one, on my notes here, number 10, Bitcoin was designed to fix a broken system, and you only notice it's broken when you're struggling. Now, the data shows since 1971, real wages stayed flat while productivity exploded by 244%. The system stopped rewarding labor and started rewarding asset holders. Now, the point of this is Bitcoin returns value to work, not wealth. People struggling to get ahead are the ones Bitcoin empowers the most. You feel the broken system, so you're the first to escape it. All right. So in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen of my notes, if you're struggling, you're not late, you're not behind, you're not doomed. You are the exact person Bitcoin was engineered to save. The wealthy don't see the problem yet. You do, and that's why you will win first. As long as you keep stacking, as long as you don't buy the things you don't need, because like I said earlier in the video, things are going to get worse. Things are going to get worse, and the money printer is about to get turned on more than ever. All right, Fed just cut rates. So people don't understand when the Fed cuts rates. All right, that means that things are going to get more expensive. You're going to feel it even more. And so what I really recommend is 2026, your New Year's resolution. You try and make it about health and wealth. All right. And so create a plan, stick to it, and ensure, not financial advice, that Bitcoin is in that financial planning. Trying to stack as much as you can and trying to see what you mostly spent your money on in 2025 and say, okay, no more with this, no more with that, and more with this. I'm Mr. Bitcoin Maxi. We're all Bitcoin Maxis. Stack sats, stay free, and stay humble. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.